So guys, I came to Rants.
I got introduced to robotics and coding.
It took me so long to get here. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today where am I going? I'm going to University of Ghana Business School, yeah, for the Future of Ghana Summit. Yeah, I think it's future. Just ignore the background noise. Yeah, so I think I look good. Makita did my brows and my edges and my hairstyle. And Wendy Wendy's, she's setting tone to my video. Yeah, hence why I look this good. So yeah. And the guys are busy. Yeah, but I think I look good. I'm wearing this jacket from Fashion Over. And I'll show you the full outfit when I get to my destination. Okay. But for now, I'm currently in Koforidua, and from Koforidua to Accra is how many hour drive?
4 hours.
Yeah.
Give
so
or take.
yeah, 4 hours drive, and it's a Friday, so there's going to be traffic. But I'm showing up for Jeremy. He's one of the speakers at this event, and Jeremy is doing so well, and I just want to go and be the cheerleader for today. So yeah, I hope I get there early because it's already almost 3, so and the event starts at 5. So guys, make sure you like, subscribe,
make sure you comment, like, and subscribe.
yeah, and share as well, and turn on the post notification.
Also get oiled up, okay?
Hello. Are they? All right, so I'll see you guys at the location. Thank you and bye. So guys, I came to rant concerning my week. I've had a very, very stressful week this week, but most of all that's because my laptop has been giving me issues. So I was using Windows at first, then I switched to Ubuntu, that's Linux. Now I'm also using Linux, but I'm using Garuda Linux, right? And I've been having issues. My system has been hanging, and I've not been able to be productive, to work. I've been so backwards on a lot of things. For Techie Girls, I've been a facilitator for Techie Girls for their front-end web development cohort, and the graduation is this Saturday, and I'm so happy. We had a project presentation yesterday. That was on Thursday, and it went so well. I've just been so happy with everything they've been able to learn so far, and it's just nice to see the enthusiasm and the passion they have, especially as young women in tech. So yeah, and then I've been having a lot of work to catch up with, and but altogether I've been having fun. The only issue is just my laptop. So yeah, but I'm still on my way. Down to the event, and yeah, hopefully I get a chance to show you all my full outfits when I arrive. So yeah, bye. Here, I don't know. I wasn't even able to locate the place so easily. So it's not the usual inside of University of Ghana. I don't know, like the usual places I've gone before. But yeah, so I think I'm still here on time.
Your future elders. The future is already here. It is just unevenly distributed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victor Busele. Please let's give it up for him again. I thought we'll actually give him a standing ovation because he charged the room literally. Thank you so much for his equivalent. Okay, so this event, like I mentioned, has been brought together by the university with support, from the University of Ghana Business School and the Diaspora Affairs Office and the Office of the President. And today we are very honored to have in our midst a very special man who has also played a pivotal role in helping us bring this event together. And so I'd like to call on, we realize we are not going by the traditional reading of biographies and all of that, because we want them to introduce themselves to you. And so I'm very honored to welcome to the stage Mr. Jackson to come and share his remarks with us as well from the University of Ghana Business School. Please let's give him a applause.
Good evening, everybody. Hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Great. And so I'm Jackson, a PJ Junior. I am the Monitoring, Evaluation, Learning, and Grants Lead at the University of Ghana Business School Innovation and Incubation Hub. I want to bring you warm greetings from the Dean of Business School, Professor Justice Baoli, and then also the coordinator of the UGBS Innovation and Incubation Hub, Professor Champon. And we want to welcome you to the University of Ghana campus. So your theme for today, accelerating development, employment, and entrepreneurship, actually resonates with the theme of University of Ghana Business School. Over the years, University of Ghana Business School has been leaders in business education in Ghana, in West Africa, and then also in Africa and the world at large. And so for us at University of Ghana Business School, we do not just equip our students with the knowledge, but then also what we do is to enhance them with the skills, with the attributes, and then with the attitudes that would enhance them to become better people within the African society. We believe at University of Ghana Business School that the future of Ghana actually lies in the hands of our young people.
This is why I'm so proud to be an alumnus of the University of Ghana again. Okay, so now we are zooming right into business, because all through this year, 2024 is the year that we stand on business, right? Yeah, so now we are zooming right into business. And policy shapes communities. Policy is what drives industrialization and then everything that we see around us. And I'm very happy and then honored at the same time to be welcoming on stage a gentleman who most of us are very familiar with. If you follow anything African Union, and recently he held a live session on Instagram, which was very impactful. So with a standing ovation, I think everyone who has offered their time to speak here today deserves a standing ovation, right? So with the standing ovation, I'd like us to welcome on stage the Policy Advocacy Lead at the Office of the African Union, Special Envoy of the Youth, Daniel I. Please let's give him a round of applause.
We're starting with business. Get right to it. Fixing the text. I want to first of all congratulate Alfred, Ferguson, for putting this together. I don't know how he was able to make it happen so fast. I mean, the vision was there to come back to the continent to do something, but the drive to actually implement it like super fast literally came by a few weeks ago when Alfred started. I'm sure you speak about his journey during the Africa tour when he visited some countries, and today we are here seeing a very wonderful initiative. So let's please give it up for Alfred. Very good. Okay, so this is normally the presentation I use for seminars and workshops and stuff like that. But I'm going to quickly rush through them and then just focus on the parts that resonate with the theme for today. Okay, so how many of you know about the Organization of African Unity? About it. At least you've heard about it. Okay. So everything is there, you can read it. But I'll just give a few insights. So the Organization of African Unity was founded in 1963 by our founding fathers. Victor spoke about Kwame Nkrumah. Candy also made mention to Kwame Nkrumah. We do have quite a number of founding fathers. So we have Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana. We have Julius Nyerere from Tanzania. How many of you know Julius Nyerere? Wonderful. Oh, so you know some of the people. We have Kenneth Kaunda. Who knows Kenneth Kaunda? Oh, Victor. Yeah. They're making it hard for me. So Victor Kaunda from Zambia. And then we have Sankara. At least some of you should, most of you should know Sankara. Yes, wonderful. And the one and only Emperor Haile Selassie. Everyone knows. When you listen to the song, Selassie. Yeah. So that's him. So that's him. Yeah. So the Organization of African Unity was founded in 1963. 32 heads of state came together and said, see, we are on our journey to decolonization. Let us create an institution. Because, there's something I always say, conviction without a roadmap doesn't achieve much, basically. So you can have the conviction to emancipate Africa, you might have the conviction to emancipate Ghana, but if there's no clear roadmap as to how you're going to do that, I'm sorry, you're not going to achieve much. So these leaders, in their wisdom, thought it to establish an institution and a framework called the Organization of African Unity to work on the decolonization and the emancipation agenda. That's how the OAU came into being. So this was their building. It still exists. If ever you come to Addis Ababa, that's where I'm based. That's where the African Union is. I'll show you. So this was what the OAU was trying to achieve. Promote unity, because at that time Africa was quite fragmented. To promote the respect and sovereignty of African states were not respected. To rid the continent of colonialism, Victor really expanded on it. I really enjoyed his speech, Victor. Please let's give it up for Victor. And to promote cooperation amongst African states. So some of the people, maybe I'll just do a bit of a quiz just to know if you are still in line with me. Who is this? No? That's yours. Oh, sorry. Who can identify Nyerere? Please raise your hand. If you can identify Nyerere. Guys, we need to get Victor out of here. He's helping you. So these are our founding fathers who established the OAU. You can see some of them here. And you can see the bosses. So you can see Nkrumah, you can see Bill Selassie. You can see a wonderful woman who was serving. Because during that period of emancipation, we didn't hear a lot of in the framework. But we'll get to the part where a woman actually conceived what we call Agenda 2063. And we are heading there. So now, this is where I belong. At least I was born during this period. So the African Union, actually I was born during the OAU period. I'm quite old. So the African Union was formally brought into being in 2002. And basically the African Union was made to take over from the OAU because some of the aspirations of the OAU were achieved. At that time, countries, were able to emancipate themselves from colonialism. They started to set up the various structures. The countries had parliaments, they had legislatures. It's the same thing. They had judiciaries, and they had, working systems. So they thought, okay, now we've been able to achieve our main goal, which is emancipation. So let's sort of pivot into a much, better way of developing our continent. So that's how the AU came into being. So the AU is guided by this, which really aligns with the theme of this program. An integrated, prosperous, and peaceful Africa, driven by President Kufuor, New York. And then we have the specialized technical community. So how many of you know Nkosisana, Dr. Nkosisana Dlamini-Zuma? You know Dr. Nkosisana, she was part of the freedom fighters during the apartheid in South Africa. So she's the first female chairperson of the African Union, and actually the only one. And she's the one who conceived the Agenda 2063 that you know today. Sorry, I've been too much on this side. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So she's the one who conceived the Agenda 2063 that you and I know today. So the next frontier of Africa's development was conceived by women. Women, give it up for yourself. You have an opportunity to do something great. Okay, so this was the last speech by Dr. Martin Luther King. He actually gave this speech on April 10, 1963. I checked if I'm wrong correctly, before he was assassinated the next day. The title of the speech is I've Been to the Mountain Top. How many of you have read? There's something very intriguing about this speech, and it really aligns with Alfred implementing this. I was speaking to him about it in the car earlier. So I'll just quickly run through it. I'll read it from here. You can read with me. As you know, if I were standing at the beginning of time with the possibility of a general and panoramic view of the whole human history up to now, and the Almighty said to me, Martin Luther King, which age would you like to live in? I would take my mental flight by Egypt through, or rather across the Red Sea, through the wilderness, on toward the promised land. And in spite of its magnificence, I wouldn't stop there. I want someone to count the number of I wouldn't stop theirs in the speech. So this is one. Okay. I would move on from Greece and take my mind to Mount Olympus. And I would see Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Euripides, Aristophanes, assembled around the platform as they discuss the great and eternal issues of reality. But I wouldn't stop there. How many? Two. I would go on, even to the great heyday of the Roman Empire. And I would see developments around there through various emperors and leaders, but I wouldn't stop there. 3. I would even come up to the day of the Renaissance and get a quick picture of all that the Renaissance did for the culture and aesthetic life of man. But I wouldn't stop there. How many? 4. Beautiful. I would even go by the way that the man for whom I've named had his habitat. And I would watch Martin Luther as he tackled his 95 theses on the door at the church in Wittenberg. There's one more continuation. Sorry, it was a screenshot, so I had to take it. This is the last one. But I wouldn't stop there. How many? 5. Beautiful. I would come on up even to 1863 and watch a vacillating president by the name of Abraham Lincoln finally come to the conclusion that he had to sign the Emancipation Proclamation, but I wouldn't stop there. How many? 6. I would even come up to the early 30s and see a man grappling with the problems of the bankruptcy of his nation and come with an eloquent cry that we have nothing to fear but fear itself. But I wouldn't stop there. How many? 7. Strangely enough, I would turn to the Almighty and say, if you allow me to live just a few years in the second half of the 20th century, I'll be happy. Now that's a strange statement to make because the world is all messed up. The nation is sick. Trouble is in the land. There's trouble in Ghana. There's confusion in Ghana. Confusion all around. That's a strange statement. This was a speech from 1963. But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough can you see the stars. Optimism. And I see God working in this period of the 20th century in a way that men, in some strange way, are responding. Now, this is the part. Something is happening in our world. The masses of people are rising up. And wherever they are assembled today, whether they are in Johannesburg, South Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, what's the next one? Beautiful. New York City, Atlanta, Georgia, Jackson, Mississippi, or Memphis, Tennessee, the cry is always the same. We want to be free. How many are waiting stop there?
7.
Beautiful. Now, 7 signifies the number of perfection. Now, many of us, we go through one challenge and we stop there. I need someone. I just want one person. Any volunteer? Quickly. I want to close this in 1 minute. No, not the MC. Quickly. I want to close. Yeah, 2. Okay, come. There's 2 of you should come. Oh yes, I'm good. Yes. Come. Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. So now, let's say I'm on my way to building a $10 million business in Africa. Create more jobs, do a lot of wonderful things, and I'm going. Try to stop me. Now, literally, this is what's based on. This is not me, but based on a lot of testimony. This is what a lot of Africans face. Now, please tone it down. So now, I just feel this is just my first barrier, right? This is just my first barrier, and then now I come. Now, I didn't stop there. I went through the first barrier. Okay, let's go. What for you there? No, you just pretend. Just pretend. Yeah, don't ask me, but just pretend. So I'm coming here. Again. But I wouldn't stop there. Okay. Then the next one. Okay, you come. Now this one is even more, a little bit violent. Now this one comes. Oh my days. But I wouldn't stop there. Martin Luther King went through this 7 times. That's what I want you guys to understand. If you stop there, how would Africa achieve this ambition? If you stop there, how would Ghana reach its ambitions? Now the last one, it is, what's the right word to use? It is very important for us to realize that, batons are always passed on. Kwame Nkrumah passed the baton to the next generation. The next generation passed on the baton to the next generation. So I have a baton. If I decide to stop there, how would the baton get to
the next person?
If he decides to stop there, how would the baton get to her? If she decides to stop there, how would the baton get to him? So, in culmination of this presentation, I need us to understand the importance of this event. This is not a talk show. If it was a talk show, I'm a super busy person. Those who know me know I'm a super busy person. But I said for Alfred, I've known Alfred for a few years now. For Alfred, this guy is not a talk show guy. He's a doer. And he's invested so much to make today possible. So I said, no, this is it. And there's a reason why he's doing this. So guys, thank you, Alfred, for the opportunity to be here. And thank you guys. Asante sana, midase.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Please let's do better for Daniel. That was so inspiring. The last month has literally stirred up a certain spirit in us. To just go out and then do what we have to do to make Africa better. He says, let's keep honoring him with another one. Mathematics. But now there's arts. So it's science, technology, engineering, arts, and then mathematics. So I'm going to be welcoming very soon on stage a gentleman who is an educator in that space, and he's going to share and throw more light on that area. We've had, or some of us have read about the agricultural revolution, we've read about the industrial revolution, and then one thing that I think has been very consistent throughout all of these revolutions has been science, technology, even though we didn't have technology earlier on. And then we've also seen engineering, we've seen art is a bit new, but then we've seen mathematics, almighty mathematics. So please, with a resounding round of applause, let's welcome on stage Jeremy Aqua.
Okay. Hello everyone. Good evening. I well.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, great. And so my name is Jeremy Akwa, and I'm a Ghanaian. Yes. My mother is from the eastern region of Ghana, a place called Obo. Yes, the mountainous areas. And my dad too is from Ekiapem. How many of you know Abri? Abri, that's like, yes, so that's where I hail from. And so today I want to share with you a story, my personal story. Yes, so this is something out of my heart. Yes. So growing up in Ghana, I was not really the curious type, but then it got to a point where I got introduced to robotics and coding by this organization called the Ghana Robotics Academy Foundation. Yes. So back then, I was reluctant to it because I felt like I wasn't cut out for it. Yes. So it was my science teacher that actually pushed me into it. And along the line, I fell in love with it. And one thing that struck me during that journey was the fact that the organization was started by this Ghanaian robotics engineer who is working at NASA now, called Dr. Shite. He's one person that has inspired me throughout my journey. So as of that very moment, I was so intrigued that a Ghanaian, just like me, coming from this place, was being able to climb to that very extent. So it really inspired me to carry on with that journey. And I think just about 2 weeks ago, when I saw Alfred's post on he speaking about coming back to his roots, I just felt connected to the story, and I just reached out to him, and that's how come I'm here. Yes, so yeah. The reason why I shared that part of me is that's how it all started. And okay, how many of you can guess my age?
62.
Okay. I'm very young. Yeah, so the reason why I shared that part was after I got introduced to that aspect of coding and robotics and getting to meet this man, I was just inspired at that very young age, and I held on to that dream that someday I would also become someone like him. So I carried on with that passion, participating in competitions and representing Ghana on the global stage. And it got to a point where I wanted to give back because I felt like I had been exposed to it at a very young age, and it really helped me. So that was where the connection came when I saw that video. So there's this organization called Techpportunity Limited. I don't know whether any of you know about it. But then this is an organization that I actually work for and volunteer with. They're actually producing science kits right from Ghana here in Kumasi and shipping it all the way to the UK. Students are using it over there. So when I saw the topic about the future of Ghana, for me, it was a future where Ghana will become a manufacturing hub where real solutions are built over here, and those solutions will be used across the world. And it's something that I believe in and I look forward to. So today, I just want to say, especially to the young people over here, I know maybe I might be the youngest, but then to inspire other young people who are sitting here to never give up and whatever they are passionate about, they should keep on with it and be persistent about it. And I would want to end with this quote that has carried me all the way. It's an African proverb that if you want to go far, you go alone. No, if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. And I actually held on to this by collaborating with other people and putting myself out there, giving back to these STEM organizations. So yeah, that's what I would end with. And just one last thing, there's going to be a robotics competition coming up next week, just around this time. So if you want to witness it, you're welcome. Just on University of Ghana, the GCB Hall. Yes, so thank you very much.
Oh.
That's so inspiring. Wow. So you see, you're never too young or too old to do something impactful for this world. Thank you so much for that. So he said his vision for the future of Ghana is to see a Ghana which becomes a manufacturing hub where real solutions are manufactured here and sent all over the world. Please just give it up for him. So we are going to be having our next speaker who is also going to share his vision for the future of Ghana. Now, very often we don't hear people that have been following her since her pageantry days, and I know she went to law school and all of that. She's one of the people who inspired me to go to law school, actually. So very soon, we'll be calling on stage the CEO at alot Petroleum and the founder at Youth Empowerment Wave Global. And she goes by the name Edma Lawe. Please just give her a round of applause. That's a welcome her.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today and to be one of the speakers, actually the only female speaker. The only female speaker today for the Future of Ghana Summit. And like I mentioned, or like our lovely moderator mentioned, my name is Edma Lawe, and today I will be talking about the Ghana we want and the Ghana we deserved. We've listened to a lot of speakers so far, and every single one of them resonates so much with me, so I hope the same thing happens with you. I remember Daniel mentioned how before we can implement anything, we need to put together strategies, methods before we can achieve anything. If not, we will literally just be walking blindly. So today, my presentation is going to basically talk about strategic foresight, and I'm going to explain what that is. I got this from the European Commission a few months ago when I visited Brussels, and it taught me a lot, and I felt like, okay, do you know what? Let me share that with every single person here today. And the reason why I decided to share that instead of really going into my own vision of what I want Ghana to be is because you will find out in the slides. Okay, so let's move on. As you can see here, my name is Edma Ohima Lawe. You can either call me Edma or Ohima. I was born and raised in France and by my Ghanaian parents. And then I moved to the UK at a very young age. I am 1/3 of the Lawe sisters, we like to call ourselves, we are the trio of the household. I'm the middle child, meaning the trouble child, as you know. And as you can see here, you can see my lovely sisters, you can see my little baby picture. I have a bachelor in oil and gas management, and that picture over there with the hat is one of my graduation pictures. I got that degree from the University of Plymouth, and I also have a master's degree in international relations and democratic politics from the University of Westminster. You can see the other graduation picture. And like the moderator mentioned, I am currently the founder of Youth Global, which is a youth organization basically focused on empowering young people and helping to bridge the gap between European youth and African youth when it comes to creating an enabling environment for young people. I am also the CEO or founder of Elo Petroleum, which is an oil and gas service company. So we work with the Petroleum Commission, and we are specialized in manpower supply and equipment and material supply. That business, today I was listening to Oswald, and I was getting messages like, do you know what? Are you listening? Because I was literally complaining about my business just yesterday. I was literally crying. Let me not lie. I was crying about my business yesterday because this year has been tough. And Ghana, just like Daniel also demonstrated, Africa as a whole, but Ghana hasn't got an enabling environment for young people to thrive in their respective sector. You will have to struggle, especially as a young woman. You will have to struggle. So people always say, oh, Hema, you're overly confident. Or Hema, oh God, you're arrogant. And I'm like, I had to be, unfortunately, because of the sector I'm in. I am surrounded by big, older men, and they are equally as confident as I am. So I had to build that confidence. So now you know a bit about me, you know where I'm from, you know what I do. Let me also mention this. You can see some European Union pictures there. I also work for the Civil Society Engagement Mechanism on the Concord, which is also under the European Commission. And we basically help put together civil society organizations in Africa and in Europe to make sure that the joint vision, the EU-AU joint vision, basically holds, and that CSOs are involved as much as possible in the partnership. Okay, so now we're going to do an interactive exercise, okay? I want you all to close your eyes. Just close it quickly, I don't have time. So close your eyes, and I want you to think, listen to the question properly. I want you to think of how Ghana will look like in 50 years. So it could be an image, it could be a smell, it could be a picture. I want you to imagine or think of how Ghana would look like in 50 years. There's a lot of smiles and a lot of laughter. Why, you don't believe in your own country? Just think. Think of what you think Ghana, imagine what you think Ghana would look like in 50 years. Okay, so now open your eyes. I'm sure you all have an idea of what you personally think Ghana will look like in 50 years. Now I want you to close your eyes again, and I want you to think of the Ghana you want. Okay, so think of the Ghana you want in 50 years. So not the Ghana that, somebody might want for you, but the Ghana that you want in 50 years. Okay? All right, great. So this exercise will come in handy later in the slides. So this exercise basically is to stimulate future thinking. And it's to also identify the detective of the future to help analyze the present, which subsequently will aid in structuring the visioning of the future. This basically is called strategic foresight. And it was created by the European Commission, by young people actually, who came together to put this tool together to create this strategic foresight. So, what is foresight? At its simplest, foresight is the structured process of thinking about possible futures. The future is yet to be written, so it's up to us to shape it. Now, what is strategic foresight? Strategic foresight is the understanding of the discipline of exploring, anticipating, and shaping the future to help build and use collective intelligence in structured and systematic way. So now you sit here and you think that, okay, yeah, that's nice, okay, but I just asked you all to think of the Ghana you want in 50 years. Was it easy? Was it hard? It was easy? Okay. Was it hard or easy? It was hard? Okay, it was hard for some and it was easy for some. Okay, and this is because thinking about the future actually is not that easy. Why is it not easy? Because as human beings, most of the times we do not know what we want until it's been introduced to us. Very recent, actually not too recent, we had cassettes. Who knows? I don't think the Gen Zs will know what a cassette is. Oh, you do? Apologies, sorry, I'm millennials, I don't know. Okay. Alright, okay, so we had cassette. And then somebody had the genius idea to create DVDs, okay? Alright, so you could watch your movies, you know, this thing that you insert in the machine. You know DVDs, yeah? Aren't you? Okay, so after that, I don't know from where you live, if you had that, but where I live, we had something called Blockbuster. Basically, you go to a library, but for movies, and you can rent a DVD or a cassette, and then you watch your movie, and then you take it back. And then we had the mother of all entertainment, Netflix and chill. Now you can literally watch your movies in the comfort of your home without even moving a single finger. Actually, you do for your remote, but still. But who would have thought from the Blockbuster days, from the renting of movies, my mom would literally come to Ghana and have a Ghana Must Go bag full of cassettes when she's coming back to the UK because we have to watch these Ghanaian movies. And we transitioned from that to now watching movies that literally just came out on our laptops, on our phones, on our TVs, and we don't have to do much. But we never thought we needed that until it was introduced to us. So sometimes the future can be very, very hard to think of because we just do not know what we want. However, there are so many possibilities also that it is easy to get lost in, lose hope, like Oswald mentioned, in terms of having too much, not having enough courage, having too much on your plate. You think about the future and so many things just pops into your head that you don't even know where to start or where to even begin with. And then there's also the story of repeating yourself all the time, same mistakes. So you start another business, this business I'll do better. 2 months down the line, 3 months down the line, a year, you are making the same mistakes you made for your first business. And this is how hard it is to basically make sure that you think of the future and you stick to it. So, now, in our journey of foresight, we have 3 main tools that we can use to make sure that we stick to our plan and that we do what we need to do. First point is to develop a future mindset. Second point is to explore futures and then shape the action that you've thought of. Now, let's go back to the first point. To basically develop a futures mindset, you need to challenge your assumptions about the future and open up to your imaginations in different futures. This will help you get in the right mindset for doing foresight. You also need to learn to identify and understand emerging changes in the present. This will help you build the skills to notice early signals to change and trends. There's always trends, especially in the fashion industry, always trends. And one thing you notice about trends is that things that we are letting go sometimes comes back into our society and you're like, wait, wasn't this like 2000? But like we're in 2024 and we're still doing that because it's coming back, okay? So we, to explore futures, we also need to generate new ideas and spark interesting conversations and discussions just like we are having now. These summits, these workshops, these interactions that we have every single day helps us to basically generate discussions, ideas amongst ourselves. And this will help us basically shape the future and the topic that we want to focus on. This is an exploratory, I hope I pronounced that right, exercise using what ifs. So my mom used to tell me, don't what if. But sometimes when you sit down and you what if a situation, you realize that, wait, I could do much more than I'm doing right now. What if I sell my car and invest it in my business like it was worth it? What if I quit my job and use my savings to build a business for myself? What if I step out of my comfort zone and just try something new for once? What if? These what ifs will help you generate ideas and stretch your imagination and your thinking when it comes to the topic of the future. Now, exploring futures will also help you develop a deeper understanding of the system that sits around the topic that you want to work on or that you want to elaborate on. And understanding the system is so important, and I am speaking per my own experience. When I first moved to Ghana, I was working for an oil and gas company in the downstream sector, and it was hell. And this is because I came from a very structured working environment to a very chaotic environment. And everybody was like, oh, this girl, and this is me, I'm coming just like I'm dressed now with my heels and my tight dress and my makeup. And when you work for a state-owned company, you know that there are a lot of elderly people. And that time, I think I was like, what, 25, so I came in, in my lubes, my tight dress, walking. They looked at me like this, man. Network, some MD got her here, this one, we don't know. And from that very moment, they started giving me hell. And I had to understand the systematic behavior of those people for me to adapt to the environment I was in. If not, every single night, I will go back home and I'll call my mom and say, I think that I made the wrong decision. I'm coming back to the UK. And that was me for about 3 months when I first moved to Ghana. So understanding the system that works around your idea, that works around your job, that works around whatever you want to invest in, is very crucial to making sure that the future you're preparing for yourself or for your company or for your country is solid. Now, when it comes to shaping action, that's when we lack a lot of things, because I realize that young people in Africa, we have so many ideas. We are brilliant when it comes to putting together ideas, but the implementation is what we lack. We do not know how to implement things. Why? Because we lack the shaping of action when it comes to our ideas. And to do that, we firstly need to co-create a vision for a future that we want to move towards together. What did I say? Together. Together. Okay. One thing I also realized is that in Ghana, we have this thing called CEO syndrome, where you're the CEO and you don't want anybody else to help. You don't want to have any partnership. You don't want to have any collaboration. You want to do everything yourself. You're basically an island. But that doesn't work in the world of business. You need partnerships. You need to collaborate. You need to network. You need to meet people. And you need to achieve all of that with people holding your hands. And that's why when our dear Mr. Victor came on stage and spoke about the team at Tribe Network and how Alfred is leading the team together, following one vision and one goal, I was like, this is perfect. This is something that we need to hear as young people, because we lack in that a lot. We want to do everything ourselves. We want to achieve everything for ourselves and not bring anybody in. Last point is we need to reflect and collect learnings from the foresight journey and to translate those learnings into specific goals. Monitoring and evaluation. Who owns businesses here? Okay. When was the last time you did a monitoring and evaluation in your business? When was the last time you monitored your progress in your business with your team and then evaluated it? Well, when? What was it? Even in your own personal life. When was the last time you sat down and monitored yourself and said, okay, I'm achieving this, I'm not achieving this, I'm not even going to talk about the New Year resolutions because I know that right now they are too slow. It's gone. It's gone. So, but even as human beings, and this is the good thing about this foresight journey, you can use it for your own personal achievement. It doesn't have to be for your company. It doesn't have to be for the whole of Ghana. It can be for your own achievement. Sit down, evaluate yourself, analyze the achievement, the academics. Okay, today you had a B in, science. What can you do to improve that B to an A? You need to sit down and evaluate yourself and monitor yourself. Okay, so now we're still on this foresight journey. I'm going to quickly go through it. I think I have 2 more slides and I'm done. So, I want each and every single one of you to take a picture of this, because I truly believe that this will help you in your own personal journey as a person, or in your business, or even when it comes to wanting to make a change here in Ghana. So you have the 3 horizons, okay? And this will help you in your foresight journey. So you have the now, you have the transition, and you have the future. So as you can see, the red line basically stands for the now, which is what we are facing right now in Ghana, what you are facing right now in your personal life, what your business is facing right now. When it comes to the predominance, it's quite high because it's present, right? This is what we are doing right now. So it's very, very high. And me relating this to Ghana, basically red line means what is currently happening in Ghana that needs to be changed, improved, or put to an end. Okay? Now we move to the second horizon, which is transition. After identifying what is happening currently in your business, in your life, in your company, in Ghana as a country, now you can move to transitioning from it. How do you transition from it? Through innovation for companies, coalition, and action enabling change towards preferred vision of the future of Ghana. This again can be applied when it comes to your own personal life. You realize that, okay, these days you're very lazy, demotivated, you don't go to the gym anymore, you don't eat right. Okay, now you've analyzed and identified the challenges. What can you do to transition from these challenges? And then we have the third one, which is the future. So as you can see on the graph, the future, the green line, started very low when it comes to the first horizon. Second horizon is starting to take shape. Third horizon is even higher, and that's what we want. We want the red to go down, the blue to stay in the middle, and the green to go up. So when it comes to our country, Ghana, what do we want from Ghana? We want a new institutional way of thinking and implementing of policy, or implementation of policy that aligns with the overall long-term goal that we identified in the first horizon. Okay, so now question, where do you think we are as a people in Ghana? Where do you think we are right now? I mean, since we are 63 years now? It's been 63 years since we gained independence? Okay, so 63? Hey, 66! Then we are old, Papa. We shouldn't be going through whatever we are going through right now. 67! Okay, I'm hearing 66, 67. I even said 63. Okay, so let's stick to 67. Let's stick to 67. So we're 67 years old, since independence. As a people of Ghana, where do you think we are? Are we now thinking about the changes, about the things that we need to put an end to? Are we now transitioning, or we are moving towards the future? Where are we? Red, blue, or green? So you are progressing, so we are in a transition phase? Okay, Daniel thinks we're in a transitioning phase. Okay, I think it's left against right now, because left is saying no, we are still in the now, we are still suffering, which we are. And Daniel is saying no, we are doing better, we are transitioning 6 to 7 years, we are still in the middle, we are transitioning, we are seeing things. Anyways, my point is we need to start applying and thinking critically to achieve all these three horizons. Now, final slide. Finally, my own vision of Ghana. When we talk about vision, it's something that I always sit down and I relate it to other things. So moving from France to the UK, by the way, English is my third language, so if I make loads of mistakes, pardon moi, okay? Excuse me. Okay, so so one thing I noticed about Europe in general is that they are so keen about their history. It's something that you would have to learn when you're at school. You have to learn history. You have to learn about their history. Depending on the country that you're in, you'd even be learning about France history when you're in England, and when you're in England, you learn about the English and so on and so forth. They are very keen about teaching their history to students. Why is that? Because a person who knows where they come from, it's very hard for them to be misled. It's very hard for them to not follow the path that has been set for them. And this is why sometimes it's very hard for us Africans to thrive in our very numerous sectors, because we tend to find or lose our identity in whatever we're doing. Back to my history story. One thing that used to captivate me when I was learning about history was how Europeans were able to envision the Europe that they want through colonization, through conquering of other nations, and even after leaving the country,
Thank you so much for joining us. So as you're all aware, this founder and CEO of Floodgates and Truster AI, and he'll be coming here to share his vision for the future of Ghana with us. Please let's give it up for Oswald.
Hello everyone. Hi. My name is Oswald Wedam Anonadaga. A few of you might know me from social media. In 2019, I dropped some odds that trended and shook the local and international space. Anyway, that's on the lighter side. Yeah, so interestingly, aside from that, my background is in digital technology with about 14 years experience in software development and technology. So a lot of people actually suspected that I was using artificial intelligence to generate the odds. But I guess we'll never really know, so yeah. I mean, it's a more plausible theory now that I'm working mostly in artificial intelligence. So my background is mostly in technology and then also in law. I just graduated with a law degree from the University of Ghana School of Law. I know the degree. And I'm here to share something with you. It's a very simple message. And this is literally the whole message. Only courage is in short supply. Everything that I have done and everything that we have achieved. Last year, I was in 10 countries and we just expanded our startup, which we started in Ghana to the US, to San Francisco, where I met again with Alfred at Stanford University, and we're having a lot of conversations about how we can actually create these opportunities for Africans as well. Because whenever we look at the technological space, we expect that we would be importing this from outside. But one of the lessons that I learned from San Francisco is that I was probably better than 80 or 90% of the engineers and the builders that were there. So when I got there, I was a little disillusioned. I was like, I mean, you guys are raising $10-15 million all the time for the startups. I thought there was something going on. But I was like, no, let me come back. And so I started working on Truster AI earlier this year, around January. It was mostly conceived in San Francisco. Today, Truster AI is used by users in over 45 countries. And this is an example of how we can export our technology from Africa to the rest of the world. And my message is very simple. I'm not going to take too much time. It's only courage is in short supply. We live in one of the times where there is the most abundance that the human race has ever experienced. There is an abundance of ideas, there is an abundance of experience, there is an abundance of access to knowledge, ideas, community. We can sit here in Ghana and on WhatsApp, organize and create a forum between people in 30 countries across Africa, plan and execute projects. And we are doing a number of these things with the UN, with the African Union, amongst others. Recently we had an event with the African Union where I was sharing on digital technology, and we had people from across the world. Now imagine what is possible, because today, if you have an idea, instead of just being able to mobilize people within your immediate community, you can actually mobilize a force from across the world. And this is what we need to think about. However, in order to be able to achieve anything, you need courage. It is probably the only thing in this world that is in short supply. If you want to learn how to write code, programming, you don't need to join a boot camp. You don't need to go anywhere. You can just go on Google and type how to program, how to write software. And you have thousands and if not millions of results, videos, and tutorials which you can actually go through, right? So what's left for people to learn how to code? If you actually want to learn how to farm, robotics, whatever you want to do is there on the internet. The knowledge is abundant. So why aren't people learning on their own? Why aren't people taking the initiative? And it's because courage is in short supply. So people are not as courageous as you would expect them to be. And I'm going to talk about a few instances of courage that it will be good for us to adopt in our lives so that we can actually achieve the future of Africa that we want. When we think about Kwame Nkrumah, Martin Luther King, all these people that we hail and we respect and we pay respect to for building the world that we have today, they didn't live pleasant lives. Some of them were killed. I mean, Kwame Nkrumah was assassinated, in quotes, according to the reports that came out years later from an intelligence agency whose name I don't want to mention. Martin Luther King Jr. A lot of people, these people in their day, they were hated by the powers that existed. They did not live pleasant lives. And so if you are looking for a common denominator among all of these people, what you actually find is courage. They were people just like us, with ideas just like us, but they had the power to chase their dreams, chase the vision that they had, work towards it, and even go to prison. When we look at the Big Six, all these people, even in Ghana's history, a lot of them spent a long time in prison. I remember one time I was watching His Excellency, the former president before, talking about how long he spent in a prison. And I was surprised, I didn't actually know. But today, if you say you have a vision and you are working towards something for Africa, and they say, Charlie, we'll do what you want for you, right? But we want you to go to prison for 3 years. Will you actually do it? Very few people will do it, right? So there's a lot of courage that is lacking. And this is something that we need to adopt as we go along, because the task ahead of us is not that easy. We are in the building stage. We are the ones, the foundation has been laid. Let's say we are the ones who are building the blocks and laying them. I strongly believe that it's the next few generations that are going to actually enjoy the Africa that we are seeing. But we just have a responsibility to contribute to building it. So the first one is the courage to be a novice. When you begin something, you are going to look very foolish. I remember one day, the day I started boxing, I was like, oh Charlie, I was wearing the gloves and everything. After that, I made someone take a video of me taking some shots, and I posted it on Twitter. Within like 15 minutes, they laughed at me and I deleted it. I was like, Charlie, oh no, to me, I thought it looked nice, but like after they showed me what was wrong with it, within a few seconds, and my Twitter has like 95,000 people following. So within a few seconds, I racked up a lot of comments. And everyone likes to come and share their opinion, which has already been shared 15 times. Like, I know, they were also bending my head and everything was bad, but I've already heard that 20 times. Like, you don't need to add yours, right? But yeah, there's a bit of shame that comes when you are starting something for the first time. Mm-hmm. And when you begin, you are going to look like a fool. And that requires the courage for you to be a novice, because there's no one who starts something and ends, and on the first day looks like they are natural at it. Mm-hmm. You are going to look bad. It's going to suck, right? And you need to have the courage to overcome that initial phase. So a lot of people do things, and then when they see that they are not being very good at it, everyone else is doing really great. When you go to the gym, when you start working out, you see a lot of fit people who have been there for 7 years. But there's so many of them that you feel bad and feel like, Charlie, me, I'm coming here with my big stomach. I mean, these people, I'm not even close to them, right? And sometimes you need to wear larger clothes in the beginning so that after you've trained a bit, then your body fits, then you start exposing it a little. This requires the courage to be a novice. And if you don't have it, you will never be able to cross the stage of the initial stage to get to the intermediate level and to the expert level in what you want to achieve. And that's the first kind of courage that we need to adopt. The second one is the courage to endure suffering. Many things that we want to achieve require a lot of suffering. I remember when I was working at Fidelity Bank, I actually resigned from that job, and then I decided to build a tech startup. I was earning some really good money with a car, everything, and the allowances were great. In fact, it's a job that a lot of people find very helpful in this country. However, I knew and I told myself that if I decide to leave, I spend 12 hours working here every day. If I decide to leave and I spend 12 hours working on something that is mine, what is it going to look like in a year? What's it going to look like in 2 years or 3 years? But that means I was going to lose my income source. And what I saw in 4 or 5 years looked nice to me. It looked good to me. But there was a period between a year and a year to two where I would probably have zero income, and I would suffer. I would struggle to look for food to eat. I would struggle to pay my rent, to pay my bills, because I was going to lose that income. And I would struggle to, even participate in normal societal activities, as Ghanaians. But just like many other things that we want to achieve, there is a period of suffering that you need to go through to achieve it. I don't know of anything in this world that you want to do that doesn't require some suffering. Even this conference, the organizers were running around yesterday while some of us were relaxed, right? They went through some suffering to put it all together. So when we see things and they're spectacular, it happens. 4 years down the line, we are working with Stanbic, a lot of other major banks. 2 weeks ago, we just signed a 10 million Ghana cedi financing contract with Fidelity Bank, the bank I work with. This is just like an initial seed financing program for a credit system that we actually built, which we are rolling out very soon. And we won an award from the United States Department of State as a #1 democracy affirming startup in Africa. And for which I was invited to the White House. Yeah, I read it as a proud kind of honor because I don't know a lot of people who have had that. Last year, we also won the African Union Global Startup Award. And a whole lot of things, the UN. But the first 2 years were crazy, trust me. There were days I woke up and I knew that today I'm not going to eat. So let me just forget, let me continue working. I'll eat the next day, right? Yeah, because you go down to zero. you have to endure that suffering. You have to be able to, if not, you won't be able to achieve it. And I know a lot of people who also started businesses, startups, and they went through things, but along the way, they are like, Charlie, I can't take it anymore. Until today, we still do it, right? And I realized whenever I bought a car, I would later have to sell the car and then reinvest it into the business. But it all pays off. There are a lot of opportunities that come up now. The opportunities across the entire world for us. We have had offers of funding from so many places. Just last week, we declined some 2 investments because the terms were not really good for us, amongst other things. But you need to be able to endure suffering if you want to actually achieve the future that we are looking for. In order not to take too much time, I'm going to talk about the courage to delay gratification. If you are not able to say we want this result in 5 years, to look at 5 years, 10 years, you'll probably not be able to achieve anything because that's how long it takes to build something worthwhile. And that's one of our problems in Ghana because our political system requires that the government leaves every 4 years. And so the government must do something that satisfies the people immediately so that they get re-elected. However, to solve the actual problems that we have, the government must work towards them for 5, 6, 7, 8 years without us seeing any results before we will reap the benefits. Unfortunately, this is what creates the cycle that we stay in. So we see projects started and ended, and we don't see a lot of development the way we expect to. Personally, you have to learn how to have the courage to delay gratification and wait to be able to obtain your reward in 10 years. And there are very few people who are able to do it. But if you want to be a change maker, then you have to be able to do it. I think the final one I'll talk about is the courage to leave your hometown. And a lot of people want to leave Ghana. I have innumerable opportunities to do so, but I'm literally here. And I was telling someone that I don't think I want to go anywhere because I love this country, especially the food. Yeah. I love this country. And even though we have a company in the US, in San Francisco, our headquarters is in Ghana because we want to build African businesses. And whenever we have investors who tell us that to invest in your company, we need you to move your headquarters, we say no. And we continue to suffer and build. So we've done that many times. But when you build, you realize that when you take time to build something, it looks sustainable. It doesn't depend on politics, it doesn't depend on the government, it doesn't matter who is there. It's built on solid principles and it's going to last very long. So the hometown I'm talking about here is your comfort zone. When you look at, I was raised up as a Christian, so when you look at the Bible, you see the stories of Abraham, Jacob, Isaac, David, almost everyone that God wanted to use. He had to let them leave their people, leave their hometown. It was a theme. It's like you need to leave your comfort zone. Go to an unknown place where you trust in the Creator and where you are able to probably do all of the things that are there. You will probably suffer. You'll probably be a novice. You'll be uncomfortable. There are a lot of things that are there that you will have to go through. But you need to have the courage to be able to leave your hometown. And this is not just about running to a Western country, Japan, and then going to live somewhere and live a very simple, basic life. That's not what it's about. I believe that Africa has a bright future. And one of the reasons why we are focusing on artificial intelligence is because it solves 2 of our biggest developmental problems. One is bridging the literacy gap, whereby people are not well educated. And the second one is bridging the digital literacy gap, whereby people who are even educated find it difficult to use digital technology. But digital technology has been presented as an accelerant of development. However, the literacy gap and the digital literacy gap has prevented that from happening. We have realized that artificial intelligence solves those 2 problems and can actually open up a whole new world for services. And for example, you know how we do payments in Ghana, digital payment transactions, amongst other things. You have to go through so many steps, and your mom will call you, come and send money to this person for me and all of that. We have built the first artificial intelligence powered payment system whereby you can just say send 50 CDs to 0244 and then it just goes. I did a demonstration of it on LinkedIn. And you can say it in P, you can say it in Ghana, you can say it in French, you can say it in any language. And so I sent it to Bank of Ghana and they were amazed, so they said we should have a meeting. And now you have to go through the whole regulatory process. But it's just a demonstration. I want to show how this makes it possible. We've built a study console that allows you to have a personal tutor that teaches you anything you want to learn based on a lot of data from artificial intelligence sources. And you can use this to learn anything, learn much faster, organize all your information. We are building all kinds of services that are helping people, people with disabilities. There's a conference system that we are working on whereby if you're here and everyone understands a different language, I can be speaking and you'll be hearing me in your own language. So all of these gaps have been bridged. And we believe that the future exists for us. However, we would have to demonstrate a lot of courage to be able to capture it and to be able to work towards building it. And like I said, in our generation, I would implore that we have the mindset of the builders. I don't think we are going to enjoy it, but we are going to enjoy building the future. And we need courage to be able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oswald. Thank you very much. So Oswald, the day started with only courage is in short supply. And he has also shown us what we can do with courage, just a little courage, right? Okay, so we are going to give you more. So we've all been aware that this program is brought to us by Tribe Network, right? Is anyone curious to know what Tribe Network is? And perhaps who is the founder? Okay, I'm sure by now you know who the founder is. But what the vision behind Tribe Network is and all of that. So very soon, we'll be hearing from a very incredible man. He has been doing amazing. I first found him on social media. I think I chanced on a video of him. And so when Daniel told me about this meet, I was so excited to come on board. And the few days of interaction, I've come to know the kind of drive that he has. I mean, it's 1 a.m. He will still be working on people, and people are still working on this time. And so, with the standing ovation, in fact, we should all stand. I'm sure we are all tired of sitting, right? Yeah, so let's just stand and stretch out and just put our 2 hands together and just give a round of applause. Just to welcome our friend,
I'm Daniel. Nigerian Immigration Authority, the airport. So I have a story to tell, okay? So last week, I was on my way to Ghana, but I had meant to spend 3 days in Nigeria. And I get there, thinking, I fill out my paperwork, have these on arrival. This should be a problem. And they start, there's some issues with my visa. They start to tell me, this one doesn't work. And there was one point in the conversation when this guy said, you need to show us, all you have is your Canadian passport. I want to see Ghana ID, Ghanaian passport, or even your birth certificate. I didn't have those things. I'm screwed. I'm here now in the hands of the Nigerian authorities. And I went to my bag, I was looking for my bag, like, what can I find? Texting my mom, my dad's on the line, and I find this birth certificate in my bag. So I'm like, okay, great, we're good, we're set. I go back to the guy and say, hey, I found it. You told me if I have my birth certificate. This one, yeah, we got it. And so it didn't matter to this guy. All that to show you, all that is to say that here's my birth certificate. I haven't got it. Okay. I grew up here. I was born here, and I lived here till I was 7 years old. In this picture is my brother, mother, and my sister. We grew up in St. Clara, where the house is. And yeah, growing up in Ghana was special. I had such a great childhood here. I'm not sure what's still. This is a picture of all of us at my brother's wedding 2 years ago. The man in this picture is my dad, and I've never had the chance to do this, but I'd like you to stand up, and I'd like for all of us to give him a round of applause. People think leading Canada, or sorry, leading Ghana is easy. 20 years, there's a lot of suffering in between those 20 years. And it took a lot of courage for him to have the idea that he's going to move his entire family to Canada. He had a good life here. He was an engineer, making good money. He had a good life here. He moved to Canada, and the 5 of us lived in a 2-bedroom apartment for 3 years. While he went back to school, right, and worked his way back up again to the PE society. But through this time, my dad, my mother, my siblings shaped me into the man that I am. Okay, and from a young age, being in a town of 3,000 people, us being the only black family in that town, and him telling us, you have to go there and find your tribe. Not everybody is for you, but you will find your tribe if you go there. You seek people who are like-minded, who values, who your interests. So after growing up in that household, with that man as a disciplinarian, years later I had a chance to be an advisor to the Prime Minister. You know, people think things are handed to you, right? Like you might see Oswald up here or me or some of the other speakers, and just think things are just given to them. It's truly not. You truly have to work for these things. I applied twice, and I got denied twice to be on the youth council before I got here. Okay? And so, you know, never think that because you've been denied, that thing is not for you, right? Keep trying. If you're passionate about it, it's an experience you truly want to have. Go after it, no matter what. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm an advisor. It's not just the Prime Minister of Canada, but to the Indigenous chiefs of Canada, and an advisor to them as well. I've been a researcher, exploring research on Black entrepreneurship. Some of that research, with Victor being involved in, actually unlocked about $200 million for Black entrepreneurs. A lot of people were involved doing it together. It's not just me. I had a privilege to be together and to get guidance from people like Victor, who opened rooms, opened doors for me to go in there to do that work. So try. What is Tribe? How did this thing come to be? You know, in Canada, so if I were to give you the elevator pitch on Tribe, it is we are an entrepreneurship and innovation house with racialized. That is it in one sentence. But why? Why is that something that needs to exist today? As an entrepreneur, I walked into an innovation hub. And in Canada, we have 30 innovation hubs across the country. Publicly funded by the government. Okay? 30 different innovation hubs. And when I walked into those spaces 10 years ago, I didn't see anyone that looked like us in those rooms. And thought to myself, something is wrong. These are spaces where entrepreneurs are going in and building companies and getting funding. Billions of dollars in value are being created in these spaces, and we're not there. Right? So I thought, why not create a network? Why not create a community? Why not create a hub that brings these people together, provides them the resources they need to thrive in this entrepreneurship? When I started Tribe, the whole idea was start where I am. I'm in Halifax, Atlantic region, Canada. Let me start there. But I've always had this vision of building a global network. It includes Ghana, but trust me, Ghana is not the only country we're going to reach. And so, Tribe Network, to me, is about creating a sense of belonging for members and entrepreneurs to come be together, learn from each other, and thrive together on this entrepreneurship journey. So what do? We host pitch competitions, we do training for entrepreneurs at different stages, we provide coaching and mentorship. Wellness Wednesdays, wellness is something that we care about, so we want to make sure our people are good. It's not enough to just make money, but are you healthy and well? That matters too. We generally do those. We help entrepreneurs meet investors. We help entrepreneurs that have come from Africa to Canada. We help them start with an idea, and now some of them are raising millions of dollars, creating jobs. Right? And that's the kind of network we want to build, not just in Canada. I want to do that here in other countries throughout the world. These are some of the numbers. Can't really read these, but we've been active since 2021. And Victor's on the board, so he sees some of these numbers, and the responsibility that we have is one that I take seriously. We distributed over $600,000 in funding to entrepreneurs. We've created over 100 mentor networks. We've built a network to 930 people. That was in 2023. Now it's over 2,000 people in the network. We're just 3 years old. We've just started. I'm proud to be here in Ghana today. I'm proud to be sharing this with you. And I hope it inspires you. I hope you learn something from what we're doing. I hope you can be a part of this. This is a graph of what we're trying to do in the venture space. And so the venture capital space, Oswald know this. In North America, less than 1% of venture capital dollars go to us. Yet we're like 12% of the population. We're talking billions of dollars being poured into entrepreneurs. We are not getting that funding. We're not getting it in North America. Are we getting it here? Yeah. So we're raising $20 million. We're in the midst of this right now. Trust me, it is hard. We will suffer through this journey, but we will get there. And trust me, when we build this up, we're not just thinking of doing one fund. From the start, we're thinking about our third fund. What are we evolving to? Okay, it's not enough to just get a piece of the pie and that's it. We're done. No. And so, Fund 1 is being raised currently. Easy here, but trust me, there are people on the other side of the ocean that would die for the feeling and the opportunity to do it. Little sister, Alexis. And Alexis and I have binge watched Black Panther 1 and 2. It's not a perfect movie, but I definitely, watching it recently, I was watching her watch the movie. And the scene where Queen Rwanda walks into the moonlight, and she's at the head table. She's running shit. She's telling the EU what to do. And she's telling France, putting them in their place. That's an alternative reality that we need to make real. How do we get there? How do we get there? Like, to me, that's the drive. You guys talk about the drive that I have. Like, I want that reality. Like, badly. I want that. I want that for Victor's kids. I want that for my little sister. I want that for my kids someday. But we are the ones in power, globally. Okay? This is some screenshots from Shuri's lab. And again, watching Shuri turn into The Black Panther, watching Shuri create technologies. Like this movie was, I think, filmed in 2019, and you know, Shuri's talking about building artificial intelligence, hardware, software, right? Why don't we have labs like this for people to work from and learn from? Right? We need that in Africa. How do we create this here in Africa? In Ghana. So I want to share my vision. And this is not just something I'm saying to say. Usually when I say things, I will go after it, and I will try my hardest to make it a reality. And so my vision for the future of Ghana is a Ghana where we are the creators, we are the owners. Okay? People are not coming here to implement their novel ideas from the UK or from wherever for us to adopt. We are the ones creating these things, these solutions. But we need to do them across multiple sectors. I loved it when Edma talked about the now, the transition, and the future. What are some key sectors that we need to be involved in today that we're not already involved in? My friend Abdul and I have spent some time brainstorming and thinking through potential solutions. And so I want to give you a taste of what we're cooking up. The Ghana Create Initiative. Investing in Wakanda-inspired centers of excellence to accelerate economic growth in the next generation and build out innovation, entrepreneurship, and artificial intelligence.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
First of all, on behalf of the Diaspora Affairs Office, my director, Appreciate Wabebio, I bring you greetings from the Presidency, Jubilee House, and to Tribe. What can I say but to thank you for thinking about it, for creating it and putting all this beautiful talent, dynamic Ghanaian youth who wants to see the future of Ghana blossom together. Let's all give it up for Tribe. I think as a second generation diasporan, this is what we are actually expecting from you. And as Diaspora Affairs Office, some of you who don't know what we do, the office was created 2017 to mobilize the diaspora back to Ghana. And since then, we've seen a whole lot of, initiatives such as Tribe. We have a Diaspora, we have AAAG, a lot of organizations who have seen Ghana as an interest country and have seen the drive that the Ghanaian government, President Akufo-Addo, is putting in to use the diaspora, our very own, that were forcefully taken away, our first generation, the African diasporan, who went away to look for greener pasture and have come back to find an office that we can help to utilize their knowledge, their skills, the support that they are bringing from wherever they are coming from to help us. And so this evening, on behalf of my office, we want to thank Tribe for such initiative, and we hope that in the future, we will collaborate to do more, not only in Ghana or in Accra, but we look outside of Accra. We have more talent, Ghanaian talent somewhere within the central region, the Volta region. I always advocate for the North because that's where I come from. And so thank you very much for your time and the support that you've given to us all this time, making sure you always connect. First of all, I apologize for this is not my official address. 30 December is one on social media. Send us a message, whatever question, whatever initiative that you're doing that you think that we can partner with you, we'll be very happy to work along with you. Thank you very much.
See one side that we are leaving. Yeah, one side. Right, so when we are done, we'll be heading out for a group picture, so please don't be in a hurry to leave. But you should be in a hurry to leave the auditorium, actually. Yes. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all of our partners and sponsors who have helped us bring this vision to life. So a special thank you to Tribe Network, of course, and also to the University of Ghana Business School. And a special thank you to the Diaspora Affairs and the Office of the President. Thank you so much for your immense support. Please thank you Habiba is not here, but a special thank you to Habiba who works here. Habiba has been amazing. And to the team, in fact, everyone who has helped put this event together. And a special thank you to you for honoring our invitation, for putting your Friday night shenanigans and coming to spend time. Please give it up for yourself.